Welcome everyone to the L7C podcast, NFL edition. That is right. We've been on a little hiatus. We are back with some NFL content, and we know a lot has changed since our last episode. We got the EVP of the L7C podcast, the NFL expert, Mr. Justin Ackendell. Welcome back to the NFL pods.
Man, I'm so glad to be back. I'm so glad to be back. The college football podcast was doing it for me for the past 2 weeks. I needed that, but it's time to get back to my shit. This is me. This is Big Ack over here talking about the NFL. You already know what the fuck going on when I get on this podcast. I'm talking about the NFL. Damn it.
And I know the listeners been wondering because the last time we came out, the Bills and the Eagles, they got their asses whooped in their respective games. And now you fast forward to our now recording, and both teams haven't lost since they got their asses whooped.
Man, Eagles might be the hottest team in the league.
That is factual. That is factual. So many things have changed. So many things have stayed the same. Justin, let's reel everyone back in. Let's catch everyone up a little bit. Let's talk about some of these teams that we're going to be looking forward to because we're recording in Thanksgiving week, which is one of the biggest, if not biggest, weeks of the NFL outside of like the Super Bowl.
Yeah, like Thanksgiving week. This is when like the NFL gets real. You know who's the contenders are. We're going to talk about some teams who, are they good or should we be worried about these teams?
Mm-hmm.
Everyone's going to be watching football on Sunday, and then December. That's when the real football starts. That's where December is where all the pretenders die out. Yeah, it's college football is November.
We might have teams clinching potentially a playoff slot potentially this week. Yeah, some of these big ones like the Lions, potentially, Eagles, Kansas City, these teams that have 9 to 10 wins could potentially maybe get a spot this week. But all right, Justin, let's get into it. The worried are good. This is actually a new segment.
Yes, new segment.
We've never done this one before. So who's the first team we're talking about?
We're going to talk about the Pittsburgh Steelers. They lost last Thursday to the Browns 24-19. Jameis Winston was starting at quarterback. Weather game start coming down with snow later in the game. Yes, they lost 24-19. Russ is now 4-1 as a starter. We're talking about a team that's currently first place in the AFC. They have a win over the Ravens since the hiatus, so they got that tiebreaker going for them right now. Their next 6 games is this week at the Bengals, the Browns, at the Eagles, at the Ravens, Kansas City, and they end the season off with the Bengals. Are the Steelers good, or should we be worried about them?
If you would have asked this our last time of doing an NFL pod, I would have been like, they're not good. But the fact that they're 8-3 and I didn't think Russell would be what he was doing now, 4-1 as a starter. I do think they're good. I think they're going to they don't have an epic collapse, but this is Mike Tomlin we're talking about, so I don't see an epic collapse. I think they're at least a wild card. And that's way more than anyone thought about this fucking team at the beginning of the year.
Yeah. I'll put the Steelers in the good category. I think Russell Wilson has given them something that they did not have with Justin Fields, and that's someone who can get the ball downfield.
Yeah.
George Pickens has been so much happier with Russell Wilson as the quarterback. The defense is going to show up. These guys have been running the ball great. Najee Harris has been showing his worth. Jaylen Warren, the guys up front have been doing a good job there. Yeah, I think the Steelers are good too. I don't think they're about to beat the Ravens again, so it's going to come down to the wire for the division. They got a tough ass game that we're going to preview this week against the Bengals with everything on the line for them. So yeah, but they're bare minimum at least a wild card team. We'll see if they can make some shit shake in the playoffs. It will be imagine if they do make shit shake in the playoffs with Russ after the Denver experience with him. It'll be a cool story, regardless of how you feel about Russ. Russ, 4 or 5 years ago, this man was on a Hall of Fame track, and he was one of the most exciting quarterbacks to watch in the league. So it'll be a nice story if they can make a run. But yes, I think they're good.
Just shout out to Mike Tomlin again, because Justin Fields, they had a winning record, and he, still put in Russ, and here they are. Like you said, he knew he could push the ball downfield. The defense is playing great. Like this team, no one thought it'd be 8-3 at this point in time. It's absolutely absurd. Leading the division.
Unequivocally.
No. Next team you got is a team that the world knows one way or another. The returning champions, back to back, the Kansas City Chiefs, who are trying to get this three-peat. Justin, we last time we've talked, they had some close games. Since then, Kansas City, they have a close game every week. Every week's a close one.
Yeah, and that's what they've been doing all year. Shit, since the playoffs last year is they've been winning these close ass fucking games. I know Pacheco is coming back soon. Their next six
That's
games
that's going to be big.
are yeah, Black Friday this week against the Raiders, the Chargers at Cleveland, Texans at Steelers at Broncos. I'm worried about Kansas City.
Worried in the sense that they won't get the number one seed they're accustomed to, or worried about first round, like what level, like first round exit, or
I I think Kansas City can. I don't think Kansas City gonna make it to the Super Bowl again.
okay.
I think this is a standard that we have for Kansas City. They're a Super Bowl or bust type of team with Patrick Mahomes as your quarterback and with the record that they currently have, only losing one game on the season. So that's what we're looking at. And I don't think this is a Super Bowl. I don't think this is a Super Bowl team. If we'll see how they do against the Steelers, but I think if it comes down to them playing the Ravens again in a playoff game, I think the Ravens will beat them in a playoff situation. We'll see about the Bills. I don't know about them, but I really think that the Ravens in a playoff situation has that team, especially how they're constructed right now with some of the injuries, not having received Rice. Pacheco will be back, but I just don't see it. I just don't see the Chiefs. They win every single fucking game close. Even after the loss to Buffalo last week, they come in and play what they flew with Carolina. Carolina was in that game. Bryce Young had
That was his
probably
best game. That was his best
probably
game.
his best game in the NFL. Shit, it looked like Alabama Bryce Young a little bit out there.
Mm-hmm.
So as in terms of them making it to the Super Bowl, I don't think so. And then they gotta be worried about the number one seed as well, getting that bye, because I think the way Buffalo has been playing with their, dog shit ass division as well, they can absolutely get that first round bye. And then Kansas City want to go on a road and they're going to be exposed. And they're playing every single game close. They're not blowing out anyone. They're not getting any margin on anyone. That's a tough way to win. You cannot consistently win except unless you're Chiefs, but I don't think they're going to be able to go into this year's playoff and keep winning these close games week after week after week.
I think the only problem with the playoff situation is they literally did that last year. They went to Baltimore and won, and they went to Buffalo and won.
I'm saying they're going to do it 2 years in a row.
I can see that. It's just the
Those
fact that
those quarterbacks are too good. They ain't going to just keep losing to Patrick Mahomes every goddamn year.
well, I told you what they should have did at the end of the year. They need to have everyone in the AFC need to have a coming in Jesus. Like we're getting sick of this shit, especially those two. But I don't foresee them in the Super Bowl right now. But it's just every time they get to the playoffs, the other quarterbacks fold for whatever reason.
I know, but
Now, if they have like a tough, I can't believe I'm about to say this, but because this team is playing pretty good. If you have like a tough first round matchup against Denver, maybe if you have like Denver played Kansas City really well too. They got a defense like Bo Nix, like maybe they could be someone who could potentially upset them. They should have beat them this year.
the three wild cards in the AFC right now, not in particular order because I don't know, but I just know
Oh, I have the order right.
I don't know
I have the
I don't
order
know the
right
order,
now.
but I know it's these three teams. It's Baltimore,
They're the fifth.
it's Denver,
They're the
and
seventh.
it's the Chargers.
They're the
And
sixth.
yes, and the Chargers and the Broncos, they're in division. They're gonna play Kansas City tough. Like I don't think those teams are necessarily scared of Kansas City. And we already know Buffalo and Baltimore are not. So having those two teams in the wild card, potentially having to play them for a third time, is going to be tough on them.
No, I agree. It'll be interesting. Yeah, I don't see a Super Bowl, but We'll see what the Chiefs. This team, last time we talked about them in early October, Justin, they were riding high.
Cooking.
Now, not so much. The Commanders.
Yes, this team, they lost probably the drunkest game of all time, fucking Sunday to the Cowboys. I mean, Cavante Turpin literally turns his back, runs back a kickoff. The net after Dallas kicks it back off to Washington, literally the first fucking play, Terry McLaurin catches a ball, outruns the entire Cowboys defense for a touchdown. Then to tie the game up, it's 27-26 at this point. Mm-hmm. And then Washington misses the extra point. Then they go to kick the onside kick.
Mm-hmm.
It's about 2 minutes left. Dallas runs the fucking onside kick back for a touchdown when the clear move was to just keep the ball, run the clock out.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's how Washington ended up losing. That whole shit was drunk. I was literally alive there in the witch hour watching that. I was so pissed off that the Cowboys were even winning this game. I was like, bro, why? We need to not win another game for the rest of the season. But hey, I like entertaining football, so I'm not too bad. Currently on a 3-game losing streak after the Hail Mary game against the Bears. These niggas have not won since they started the season off 7-2. Jane Daniels has not looked the same since he got that rib injury. He's not been running the ball as effectively as he was before. The next 5 games, week 14 by Titans, at Saints, Eagles, Falcons, at Cowboys. Are the Commanders good, or are you worried about them?
Worried. That slide is just a little like there was almost a point I thought maybe because it was at the time of our last time where I was like, oh my God, they really might win the NFC East because they were looking really great. The Eagles were looking like trash. The Cowboys had their woes and the Giants are the Giants. But now you're talking about that 7th spot. I mean, there's teams creeping right behind them. Like the Cardinals, the Bucks just got Mike Evans back. There's still the Rams who are dangerous. The 49ers, like besides the Titans and at Dallas, those other 3 games are not gimmies. Like the Falcons are going to be playing for something. The Eagles might be playing for a number 1 seed, so they're going to be playing for something. And the Saints they just play to play. So I mean, that's just what they do.
They just play the flag.
Yeah, besides the Titans and like maybe the Cowboys, I don't see a guaranteed win on their next 5.
No. They've been absolutely bullshitting. I know they will win this week against Tennessee. Yeah. Tennessee is not good, and they stole one against the Texans. Stole it. So that's going to be a win. But you're absolutely right. You know, at Saints, Eagles, Falcons, Cowboys. I mean, you know, those Saints and Falcon games are winnable, but, you know, we already know what's going on with the Falcons. The Cowboys game, we'll see what Cowboys team show up if these niggas are trying to win or not, but they should whoop the dog shit out of them again. And you got the Eagles, like you said, they're in a fight to be the number 1 seed. They got to keep up with Detroit. Detroit ain't slowing down by any goddamn means. Mm-hmm. I still think they make the playoffs, but I tempered any expectations of them making any type of run. That's cooked, done, finito. But I think they're still good to make the playoffs.
I don't know, man. Them Cardinals are right behind them.
Fuck with the Cardinals too.
And the bad thing is,
despite their performance this weekend, but
if the Bucks didn't have all their injuries, they would probably be the 7th. They'd be the playoffs right now because they would have beat
the Bucks.
They would have beat.
They can still win that division.
They still can, but it's just the fact that when they lost Godwin that Monday night game, I was like, yeah, it's done. And then Mike Evans just came back, and then they did just win like 30-something. They just destroyed the Giants. But it's like they've had so many close games. They should have beat the 49ers. You should have beat the Chiefs. Like all these games, it's just that Monday night game where Patrick Mahomes, when that coin went up and we all knew it was going to the Chiefs and it went to them and they won. I was like, yeah, it might be it. But another young buck team, the Texans. Justin, they were the talk of the town at the beginning of the season.
Yes, they were. They lost at home to Tennessee this week. And this is actually a funny story. I was grocery shopping on Sunday, and I swear to God, I thought I bet on the Titans. Mm-hmm. and I was rooting for these niggas the entire game. And then Will Levis throws that pick six. I'm like, it's fucking cooked. It's done. Will Levis did to me again. He burned me. Titans somehow won that game. I go check the sports books. I never placed that bet.
Oh,
Had me out here just rooting for the Titans for no goddamn reason. I did not place it. I swear to God, I typed it in the phone and put the bet in. But regardless, yes, they are 1-3, and the Texans are 1-3 in the last four games. Losses to the Jets, Lions, and that Lions game, that is a game that they are fucking kicking themselves about because they were up by a big margin and let the Lions come all the way back. Jared Goff played
his worst
literally
game.
his worst game of his career. 5 interceptions, and the Lions still won the game. A good team does not let that game get away from them, especially when you build a lead like that.
Yep.
I'm worried about the Texans. I am worried about the Texans. Their schedule is easy down the. There's a couple layups on the schedule going down the stretch at Jacksonville this week, but this stretch has me concerned. Dolphins, who've been playing better since Tua came back.
Yes.
At KC, Ravens at Titans to end the season. I don't know about that stretch. They did sweep the Colts, who are right behind them in the division, so they're still going to be a playoff team. But as far as making a run, I'm worried. I think it's finito. I think it's done. They're a year away. They need to grow up a little bit and fix their offensive line.
The thing that helps them the most is that they're in the AFC South and their division is terrible.
Yeah, so they're pretty much in the playoffs, but in terms of them making a run, maybe winning a game, like they won a playoff game last year. I don't think they're gonna win another one this year. No, they didn't win one last year. No, they didn't.
No,
They beat the Browns.
They
Yeah,
smoked
yeah,
they smoked the
yeah,
Browns.
they beat the dog shit out the Browns, lost to the Ravens. Yeah,
I think. I mean, I'm worried because again, they were literally the talk of the town at the beginning of the year, and now they've stumbled. CJ maybe had a sophomore slump, but that stretch when we were talking about the Dolphins at Kansas and Ravens, I just want to talk about for scheduling purposes. They play Miami on the 15th of December.
yes.
Then they play at Kansas City on the 21st. And then you turn around and you play Baltimore on Christmas on the 25th. So think about that. Look how close those 3 games are.
Wait. What the fuck?
Yeah.
All right. Let me pull out my calendar. All right. So the 15th,
Miami.
15th Miami, assuming the 19th KC.
21st.
Oh, 21st is KC, so Saturday.
Mm-hmm. And then they play on Christmas.
Oh my God. And then they play on Christmas.
Look at that shit.
1, 2, 3. Oh, what the fuck is this shit?
That's bad. They gotta
how the NFL let this shit happen?
Because they want to take over Christmas.
Why the fuck did Texans gotta play?
Because they were the talk of the town at the beginning of this year.
I would be so pissed off if I was them. What is that?
Mm-hmm.
Fucking, that's 3 games in less than 2 weeks.
Yes, and of course, at least the Baltimore game is at home and the Miami game's at home, and of course, Kansas City's at Arrowhead. So you have the home game against Miami, travel to Arrowhead, then travel back home for Baltimore. Yeah, that's bad.
Wait. Hold on. Hold up. Hold the fuck up. Wow. I mean, wow.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy.
And these are 3 teams who are going to be playing for shit.
In Kansas City, they play what you want to call it? They play on Sunday, and then they only got the short. I mean, they're still. I was trying to see if KC pretty much has the same type of deal, and they do too because they play December 15th, December 21st, and then they play on Christmas Day as well. Okay. All right, so they're all in the same boat. Both those teams are in the same boat. I thought they were about to cheat for. I thought they were about to cheat for Kansas City again. I just had to make sure.
Well, they were gonna have Kansas City on Christmas now. I mean, but it's the fact but they're already secured in almost a way. But the young team, the young Bulls doing that, that's crazy.
Yeah, KC plays the Steelers on Christmas, which is a fucking tough spot for
Yes.
that's a tough spot for them at Pittsburgh, and they're going to be dogs too. You already know Tomlin loved that shit.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So yeah, that Christmas being on a Wednesday fucks up a lot of things, like
It's
for a
tough.
lot of people's rest. Like it is, it's bad.
God,
That's why I'm worried.
I
That's why
feel
I'm worried about the Texans, bro.
I feel bad for the NBA, bro. You put KC and Pittsburgh on Christmas Day. Ain't no one about to watch the fucking NBA.
Now, the only point that could be good for the NBA is at least the NBA games are still on like ABC, ESPN, all that. These NFL games are going to be on fucking Netflix.
Oh.
And we saw how that shit was during the Tyson shit.
Well, I'm not as negative with the streaming companies as Byron, but they got about a month to get that shit figured out because
Yes,
that shit can't happen with the NFL now. I'm sorry.
exactly.
We cannot be having that.
That's what I'm saying. Like they got both games are on Netflix. You got the 1 o'clock game, Kansas and um Steelers, then the 4:30 Ravens and Texans.
Okay, so we'll see.
And then they don't stop because they play on Christmas on Wednesday and they still got their Thursday night game. On the 26th, they're not stopping.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. These niggas don't won't let anyone have shit.
No, because they play the 25th, the 26th, the 29th, and then Monday, December 30th. Like all still. Just like this Thanksgiving week, 3 games Thursday, the Black Friday game, because remember, they used to not have this Black Friday fucking game. Now Black
Yeah, fuck.
Friday,
Let college have their rivalry weekend and then back on
and then
Sunday.
back on Sunday and Monday. Yeah,
Yeah, Monday
that's
like it
it. Like,
typically
yeah,
do.
it's crazy. But that's why I'm like, I don't know about the Texans. And then this last team you had on, if we would have said this at the beginning of the year, I would never thought they'd be on this. The 49ers. It's crazy to
This is
think
one.
about.
This is one of the only preseason predictions that I had right. I was like, I forgot who I actually picked, but it was anyone but San Francisco. It was anyone but San Francisco, and that is
You
coming
actually
to
picked
roost.
Detroit to go to the Super Bowl. I was looking at the stuff earlier.
I pick them to win.
Unfortunately, I think you had the Ravens.
Okay, we're good then. We're good. I'm a Ravens fan now, so we're all good. But yes, the 49ers lost to Green Bay 38-10. They were missing Brock Purdy, left tackle Trent Williams, and Nick Bosa. They're on a 2-game losing streak with losses to the Seahawks and the Packers. I will say Nick Bosa got hurt during that Seahawks game.
Mm-hmm.
And before he got hurt, the 49ers were about to win that game. And then once he did get hurt, Geno Smith went off. Just want to put that out there.
Mm-hmm.
Currently last in the division, but they're only out by a game, so that shit is still anyone's division. The Seahawks and Cardinals played this past Sunday for first place, and the Seahawks won that, so the Seahawks are in first place, and then they're all just bunched together. I'm pretty sure with the same. I think they're all 5-6 except the Seahawks, who are, I believe, 6-6. Let me check that shit just real fast. Oh yeah, the Seahawks are 6-5. The rest of them are 5-6. So they're a game back. So currently last in the division. Their next 6 games are at Buffalo, Bears, Rams, at Miami, Lions, in the season at Arizona. You worried about them? Or are they good?
Oh, they're worried. They're not in a good spot by any means. One, they're in the NFC West. All their teams are actually competitive, so you got to get some separation. Nah, they are not in a good spot. They're not. Injuries galore. You get CMC back, someone else goes out. Debo Samuels, all these people who got paid this. No, was it Ayuk who got paid?
Yeah.
Yeah, like anytime anyone get just non-existent, like it's just no. And you might be right. This might have been their last, and their next 6 games. Well, I guess maybe besides the Bears, but the Bears may still have something to play for. Everyone else on that thing has something to play for.
Shit, Matt Eberflus has his
That's
job.
true.
What are you talking about?
I'm talking about playoff positioning or
Yeah,
playoff
he,
chances.
he got his job. I think the NFL really wants it to end up that last week of the season at Arizona when you're in situation,
Mm-hmm.
and I could definitely see it coming down to that. I'm worried about the 49ers. All like you said, all their best guys right now are hurt.
Yep.
Purdy, Trent Williams, and Nick Bosa. Those are pillars that are not healthy right now, and they have no chance if those guys are hurt. So yeah, I'm definitely worried. And all those teams within the division. They playing good. They playing good ball, at least good enough ball to win their division. So yeah, I'm definitely worried about the 49ers. They can get.
Oh, I just want to go back really quickly when we were talking about the NFL not giving them not giving anyone shit. Just watch this shit. So, week 16, Thursday, December 19th, they have a game, right? So they have the
Mhm.
games on the 19th, the 21st, the 22nd, the 23rd, the 25th, the 26th, the 29th, and the 30th.
Unbelievable, bro. Well, fuck. At least I don't gotta watch Christmas movies. I can
they
fucking
have
watch the
they are
NFL.
starting to maximize that. Hey, some college kids and kids are on Christmas break during these 2 weeks. Let's have games on like these Wednesdays and so, like they are maximizing it.
Fuck it.
But no, I'm worried about I don't know I don't know what they're gonna do, and
They said the CFP got their playoffs. Fuck the rest of y'all bowl
that's
games.
true. That is true. I don't but back to I don't know what the 49ers do, because if they don't make the playoffs, you're gonna have that long talk like, is this iteration over? We've been trying and is it time to clean house and restart? Or
What do you do with Brock Purdy?
I mean, eventually he's gonna ask for his money. And once he asks for his money, you're gonna have to make a choice. You already shipped Trey Lance over. I don't even know who the backup is on the 49ers, because Darnold's over there starting at Minnesota. So they have all those discussions they're going to have to make, because they did not max them. They didn't win a Super Bowl in this window, unfortunately. So,
Yeah, they got some shit to figure out. I think they're gonna have plenty of time to figure out what the fuck they about to do because I don't think they're gonna be playing in January.
no, I don't know with the way that they're going. So real quickly, three Thanksgiving games: Lions, Bears, Giants, Cowboys, Dolphins, Packers. With Tua coming back, I think that game is very interesting, because if the Dolphins win, they're 6-6 and they're in business.
Yes,
That is
that
very
game.
interesting.
The only problem is it's gonna be so cold up
Mm-hmm.
there. We already know how Miami is when it get cold
That's
outside.
right.
They don't show
They
up.
don't. They don't. So I think
They,
that would be the most competitive wise game. Detroit, this will be cool for people like, oh, Detroit's good. I mean, and the Cowboys and Giants is just two teams that are ass, but they're probably going to have the biggest rating on all this shit. So, because they're the Cowboys.
hey, don't sleep on the Bears. Don't sleep on the Bears. I think there's no way they win this fucking game. Like not in a million chances, but like I said, Matt Eberflus is coaching for his job, and he's either getting either Black Friday is going to be Black Monday for him. He's getting fired, or they beat the Lions. I don't think there's really any in between there because if the Lions do win that game, they probably going to embarrass those motherfuckers.
Yes. And they've been accustomed to
And
that.
that's what they've been doing over the past month is embarrassing people.
Can Eberflus pull a Napier? Can he, like Florida's coach, just go on a little run? That's it.
I think he's done regardless, but he can keep coaching for the rest of the year stays if he stays close against Detroit on Thursday.
God, because if they do beat the Bears, if the Bears do win that game against the Lions, that Ravens Eagles game, the Eagles are gonna be like, oh, now it's really in play.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. All the good teams in the NFC are rooting for the Bears, and Caleb Williams he played well.
Mm-hmm.
He played well in that game against the Vikings. That game went to overtime. And they ended up losing, but they've been right there for the past 3 weeks. That Hail Mary game kind of broke them,
Yeah,
and they've been
yeah,
spiraling ever since. But I mean, they're not total ass. They're just I just don't think they're very well coached, and it starts with the head coach Matt Eberflus. But
agree.
the Bears got talent, and they can, and if they show up, they can make this game interesting for Detroit.
Agree.
I haven't bet it yet, but if it comes down to it, I'm probably going to take the Bears to cover. I don't think they win. I'm going to try so hard to not invest any money in that Cowboys Titans game. I don't want to watch it at all. And then why is that game the middle game? That is smack dab in the middle where everyone is eating. That is prime Thanksgiving. You gotta sit there and watch the Cowboys and the fuck. You gotta watch Tommy DeVito and fucking Cooper Rush. Good God, that's about to be horrible.
Because
And
that's how it's the Cowboys. Detroit always has the 12 o'clock time. The Cowboys always have the middle times.
we could have switched that shit up, man, because we could have flexed that because that is crazy. Like
Well,
that's what you about to be eating your turkey, mac and cheese, and collard greens too. That's what you about to be watching. The Cowboys and the Giants, the toilet bowl, the big ass
and I'll
bowl.
tell you right now, it's probably gonna have the highest rating out of all three of those games too.
It definitely will, but it's just ridiculous. And
They
then
don't flex
and
those
then
spots, bro. They don't do that on Thanksgiving.
I guess, but whatever. And then the last game, take Green Bay. It's 3.5 right now. I took them yesterday when it was 3, but those Miami boys can't handle the cold.
Fair enough. Fair enough. So those are the Thanksgiving games, and then obviously we got the Steelers and the Bengals.
Yes, we do.
AFC North. Justin, any way the Bengals can find they have found so many ways to lose this year. It's just been amazing.
Yes, the Bengals are 4-7, and since the hiatus, they're still doing what they've been doing. Playing really competitive games and fucking losing,
Mm-hmm.
and it is so wild because this is Joe Burrow's best statistical season.
Mm-hmm.
If this team was winning games, Joe Burrow will be the MVP. It'll be his reward.
Yep.
I don't give. And Lamar, we're about to go do the preview for Eagles Ravens. Lamar Jackson has very similar numbers, but the NFL would have been itching. Oh, they probably couldn't wait to give Joe Burrow that MVP if these niggas were winning enough games.
Oh yeah.
Shit, you think Josh Allen? You think they want to crown Josh Allen that bad? Oh, Joe Burrow playing like this? Oh,
yeah.
It would have been the most glazing meat fest you ever seen in your life. But
I don't know.
Yeah,
UFC 309 was pretty bad.
True. True. But yeah, Burrow is 67%, 3,028 yards, 27 touchdowns.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy. I know this game's going to be tough, but it honestly just comes down to Mike Tomlin as an underdog against the spread is 61, 31, and 3, covering 65% of the time when Mike Tomlin's an underdog. And the Steelers it's 2.5 now, but they were +3 at a point.
I mean, I would take the Steelers to win. Like the Bengals have not shown me that they could win these games.
They're just going to be so desperate to win this game. Like, I don't know. I really don't know about this game. I'm going with the Steelers too, just because they're off the mini bye. They lost the Browns. They lost their Browns. I think they keep their momentum up. They're a tougher team. They're going to be able to get pressure on Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow. Last time we saw him against a good defensive Chargers, he went the fuck off. The Steelers know him well, so I don't think that's going to be the same type of deal. If anyone can stop the Bengals offense, it will be the Steelers.
Mm-hmm.
And I gotta go Pittsburgh, man. Even though I'm currently wearing a Bengals shirt, but these motherfuckers haven't been able to win the big one all year. The defense still isn't very good. All they got is Joe Burrow and some receivers. So if that's all you got, I think the Steelers are going to walk into Cincinnati and give it to them. They're going to run the ball. They're going to bring that game into the mud, and they're going to walk out with the win.
And just not to only talk about Joe Burrow, but I mean, Jamar Chase is having a great year. Hendrickson on the defense is having a great year. Like all three of them would be winning if they were they were a good record, MVP, offensive player of the year, maybe defensive player of the year, but they can't because their team is ass.
Yeah, and Russ playing quarterback now. He has unlocked my man George Pickens, and folks listening, if you guys have not watched George Pickens, like he's good and all, but just watch the shit he does, like in between plays and after get like this dude is fucking. This dude's hilarious. Like he is so funny. He's so passionate. He's so passionate about the game, and I love him for it. But give me the Steelers here.
Now,
Woo! It's the game of the week.
Ravens, Eagles, and you got two, and you said featuring two MVP front runners.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. We already know about Lamar Jackson and what he's doing.
Mm-hmm.
The two-time MVP himself, reigning MVP. I might add you. He's 67%, 3,053 yards and 27 touchdowns with three rushing touchdowns. And then we got Saquon Barkley with 223 carries, 1,392 yards, 10 touchdowns, 27. Then we got 27 receptions for him, 257 yards, and two touchdowns. And then MVP front runner, but that's Big Derek, boy. I got to put his stats up in it too. He got 221 carries, 1,325 yards, and 13 touchdowns. These are the two best rushing offenses in the league. The Eagles have the number one rated defense according to PFF. The Eagles secondary with their rookie corners Cooper DeJean and Quinton Mitchell, they have been coming along. But other than having to play the Bengals without T. Higgins, they haven't had to deal with an offense like the Ravens. They have not had to deal with an offense that is clicking like the Ravens. Number one rated offense in the league right now with Lamar Jackson, Derrick Henry, my cousin Zay Flowers, Mark Andrews has finally come alive again. This team is a juggernaut. They had me worried for a little bit last night against the Chargers, and they started running the ball. And then they started giving the ball to Derrick Henry, and they realized who the fuck they are. And they realized that if we can just keep running this ball, we have Lamar Jackson, and it's going to open up everything in the passing game for Lamar Jackson. And if Lamar Jackson is opening things up in the passing game, so open up lanes for Derrick Henry. And I think the Eagles defense is exposed this game. Still a good team, but they're just running into a freight train right now. The Ravens are going to be at home for this game, and Lamar Jackson 23-3 against the NFC. It's Ravens all day.
I mean, last time we talked about the NFL, you told the Ravens, because that's when they were going through their stuff, losing teams they weren't supposed to lose to. Just stop being cute. Give the ball to Derrick Henry and go from there. When they give the ball to Derrick Henry, he gets going. They don't lose.
Even Justice Hill yesterday popped off a big 50-yard run, bro. Like it was clicking. And the Chargers, that's a top 5 defense too.
Mm-hmm. Like you said, just stop being cute. Do what you're supposed to do. Run that ball, and then everything opens up. Both these teams, man, I mean, especially the Eagles, Saquon literally ran himself into this MVP conversation. Man, this is at Baltimore too.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, I think with the home
425 Fox probably, or I don't know what network it's on, but it's a 425.
CBS. I just looked at CBS. Because they're at home, I would take. Wait, is Devontae Smith coming back? Like, is the Eagles going to be fully healthy?
I do not know.
Because their corners are terrible. They can't. You get some points on the Ravens.
Man, their defense has been playing better.
They have, but if you have Saquon and all them, AJ and Devontae, everyone at full health, you can get some points.
Let me look at this line. Nah, because I was concerned about that as well. But this Brandon Stevens is the one we got to worry about on this Ravens team. He He's rated 96 out of 11 and out of 11 110 corners on PFF. Yeah, Marlon Humphreys, he's solid. You got Kyle Hamilton back there, who's a safety back. Oh, Marcus Williams is safety. He's a little shaky right now. Yeah, those are the weak links. So yeah, definitely can get the Eagles can definitely score some points on this Ravens secondary. I do think they'll be able to bottle up the running game some, and if they do, like, really watch out for them. But yeah, I mean, the Eagles got one of the best lines in the game, but I just think that Ravens offense is going to end up being too much for the young Eagle defense.
Yeah, I mean, I'm taking the Ravens as well. I just think that if the Ravens get ahead and they can just pound the rock with Lamar, I mean, with Derrick Henry, and they get a good 10-point lead, it's a wrap. Maybe the same with but the fact that Saquon is playing like he was back at Penn State. Like
Yeah,
any couple runs, he can bust a 75 and the whole game changes. Like it's
yeah,
ridiculous.
yeah, and the Eagles defense is young. Like most of those motherfuckers were recently drafted. They haven't seen Lamar Jackson. They haven't
Mm-hmm.
seen Lamar Jackson like in the NFL. They haven't played against him. Their last matchup was in 2020. These teams have only played a total of 6 times all time, which is kind of crazy, but it makes sense. They're them being in different conferences, and the Ravens haven't been around for the Ravens not being around for that as long as the Eagles. But that's the thing. Like the first time that these NFC teams, they have a problem when they like first see Lamar Jackson and
Mm-hmm.
seeing that speed in person, just what his whole deal is. So I think that's going to be tough for them to deal with in that game.
Agreed. Agreed. I mean, I'm taking the Ravens. This one that would have been super big if if the Niners were significantly better, but it's still big for fighting for their lives. They're going to Buffalo really quickly. We talked about the crowd. The other MVP frontrunner, since he beat Kansas City, he shot up, and that's Josh. So
Joshy boy.
if he wants to continue that trend, he's going to have to win these type of games.
Yeah, he do. I don't. His numbers are not as electrifying as Joe Burrow's or even Lamar Jackson's right now. I
No.
mean, he's not close to having 27 touchdowns
Mm-mm.
at this point, but yeah, the Bills are a tough team. We know their defense. We know their defense is good. We know Josh Allen is good. Those young receivers are starting to come together. Keon Coleman, Dalton Kincaid in his second year, he's starting to get together. They still got James Cook back there. Good offensive line. And the game's at home in Buffalo. It's already snowing in that bitch. San Francisco, this is going to be a kitchen sink game for them, but I just don't know who. I don't know who's going to be playing for them. Like
Mm-hmm.
if Brock Purdy don't play, we already know. We already know this shit cooked.
Yeah.
It's cooked. If Brock Purdy don't play, so I need a little bit more information before I can even consider even thinking about San Francisco can win this game.
Agreed. Agreed. I think right now I'm gonna take, yeah, without information that we have, Buffalo. But if all the horses men just come out of nowhere, then maybe San Francisco have us some championship pride. Well, Justin, we've caught the world back up on the NFL going into Thanksgiving. What's going on? The signature segment of winners and losers for this edition.
Oh man, I don't got that many right now because I'm just so happy to be back. I really ain't have enough time to be a hater. I ain't gonna lie. But we'll do a winner from the college side of things. The Kansas Jayhawks.
Mm-hmm.
They got healthy and they've been beating ranked teams for the past 3 weeks. So shout out to them. And then back to a sport that we love, the NBA. I have to go with the fucking Washington Wizards. You talk about ass. Like this team has been ass since I've been alive, literally, but it's a reach.
No, they had some good years.
Overall, in my 30 years of living, most of the time, the Washington Wizards have been dog shit ass.
I'm trying to think,
as you would say.
Yes, they had the Gilbert time, and then the John Wall time, and then once that, yeah, okay, fair enough.
Yeah, only those 2 runs. They just lost today in the NBA Cup.
Yeah.
I think they're the first team eliminated from the cup. They lost 27. They lost 127 to 108. Thank you, Chicago, for covering. These niggas have lost 11 straight games. 11 straight games. I look every single day at basketball like bets just to see if I can get a little edge, just a little something, something. And these niggas lose every single fucking day. Don't cover. These niggas be getting their ass beat. They're like, oh my god. Their last 5 fucking games is even gonna show me on this ESPN app. Oh, it's not even gonna show me. What are these niggas' last 5 games? These niggas suck. Oh my god. I'm, I'm about to go through it because I'm getting mad. Oh my god. All right. Since
Oh.
because how can you be so bad? All right. Since they beat the Atlanta Hawks
Mm-hmm.
on October 30th.
Mm-hmm.
On November 2nd, they lost to the Heat by 20. On on Monday, November 4th, they lost to Golden State by 17. On November 8th, they lost to the Memphis Grizzlies by almost 30.
Mm-hmm.
On Sunday, November 10th, they lost to the Orlando Magic by almost 30. On back to back, on the 11th, they lost to the Houston Rockets by 15 points. On Wednesday, November 13th, they lost. Oh, this game was actually close. They only lost to the Spurs by 9. And then first game in the NBA Cup for them, they lost to Atlanta by 12. On Sunday, the 17th, they lost to the Pistons by 20. On Monday last week, they lost to the Knicks by 30. Well, 28, but might as well have been 30. This past Friday, they lost to Boston by 12. Yeah, 12. And then Sunday, they lost to the Pacers by 12. And then today, they lost by 19. Some damn self-respect, Jordan Poole. I don't think Goose has been playing. God damn! How can y'all be so bad? Every single fucking day. And I'm so mad at myself for not fading these niggas every single day. Because if I fade these niggas every single day against the spread, I'll be up. I'll be winning money.
Yeah.
It's a probable bet to bet against the Wizards every single day. So this is my call to action for everyone within my voice on this microphone. Let's start hammering the Wizards losing every fucking game this year. Let's get some money from these shady niggas that ain't gonna be good.
Oh my gosh.
Biggest loser of the NBA season. We're not talking about the Sixers.
Oh shit. Oh man.
God, disgraceful of basketball, man.
They are bad. They're bad. Oh man, how do I? Oh, well, I mean, listen to the college football one because that's where I'm not talking about the Sixers because I talked about them on that one. But I do have a winner. I will say the OSU women's basketball team. I finally got to go out to see the squad play live, and a lot of people obviously left for the league, like Sheldon and all of them, but they got some new players. Cambridge was the number 3 recruit in the country, and they look pretty well. So I'll see how they do this year. So shout out to the ladies. Now,
Nice.
losers, just really two, two in particular, because you brought them up in the college football. I just really want to reiterate this. Notre Dame does not care about the armed forces because when they play those teams, they destroy them.
Beat they ass.
Beat Navy 51-14, and then they beat Army 49-14. And at both points, both these teams were either had one loss and they were undefeated, and Notre Dame crushed them. Like that's just bad. The other one, really, because again, Sixers we talked about the college football one. Just one game. It was just one game, but the Denver Nuggets truly hate the Los Angeles Lakers. They hate them. You want to know, obviously, if you've known the history these past couple of years, but the past game that they played, and Denver was coming off a back-to-back. Joker went crazy. They played the whole time, and they lost that back-to-back short. I thought they were going to take it easy on the Lakers, lose.
Same.
The Denver Nuggets it was 53-63, Lakers up right before halftime. The Denver Nuggets went on a 50-17 run. How the fuck do you go on a 50-17 point run?
That's Wizards basketball right there.
And you're the Lakers, who are playing good this year. It just shows the fact the Denver Nuggets, they truly hate the Lakers. They hate them. And I'm here for it because we need that type of hate back in the league.
Hey, man, as good as Anthony Davis has been playing this season, and God, I've been loving it. That man Jokic, he see food every time he see AD. That is just unbelievable how much better Jokic is than every other big man in this fucking league.
And it's kind of crazy too.
And he can't jump.
And it's crazy too because if I'm looking at this stays the same, I'm about to bet the Lakers tonight. Because right now they're underdogs, and I think Anthony Davis is going to kill the Suns. This is currently on ESPN.
KD and Bill coming back.
Boy. I know, but the Lakers. Dalton Connect was a great. I don't know why the fuck people let him fall, and it's just AD. Like if AD plays like that, the Lakers are formidable.
Yes. You are always in the mix if you have Anthony Davis playing at MVP level, and I just been so proud of him, bro. Like he hasn't been getting hurt. Yeah. Something is clicking for him. And I just love it. And you see Joel Embiid over there. I just love to see a big man who fucking gets
Anthony Davis, Jokic.
AD finally gets it. And shout out to my man, white man, galloping one at that Dalton Connect because I don't understand what these NBA scouts were doing. These niggas, I think we really need to reevaluate how we look at some of these NBA prospects.
They said he was too old because he actually
that's you already know I'm going. Valuing these young niggas over these old niggas who you know can get buckets because they've been doing it in college for years at this point. They transitioned to the NBA, you know. They might have a low floor, but you know they're going to come in, fulfill their role, and make some shit happen. Yeah. And you're seeing it with Dalton Connect. So shouts to him.
Yeah, that's really it. That's really it. But besides that, thank you everyone for listening to the L7C podcast. Enjoy your Thanksgiving week. Basically, food, family, and football. Basically the 3 F's of America, if you're listening to this in America. So enjoy it. With that being said, L7C podcast, signing out. Thank you for listening to this episode of the L7C podcast. Be sure to like, rate, review, and subscribe to the channel. Follow us on all social media platforms, and we'll be talking to you guys soon. Take care.